Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager, a single seater playthrough, and just 4 races to go now. Well, no doubt about it, our worst result ever this season, last time out, and maybe a true reflection of where our car is. We've been incredibly lucky this season. Obviously, we opened it up with a 1-2, and we've had some good point scoring positions since then. But I think, as we thought it would be, it's going to be all about holding on now. Of course, that 6th place was always going to be a tall order, but that's what we've chosen. And we are now 8 points ahead of Ruiz in 6th. So I think we're going to need a few more point scoring positions before the season is out if we want to secure that 6th place. The big problem we've got now is obviously funding. We've run out of money really to start putting parts on the car. So we're just going to have to improve the car with what we've got. If we take a look at the sponsors, we should have 2 more sponsors coming in this time, which should hopefully put us back in the green. And that's what we really need. So let's get going with today's race. I want to see how Monroe develops over the next few races as well, as to whether we start looking for another driver or not. But I think we've got quite a few people scouting at the moment, so we'll see what the scouts bring in as to whether we can find a driver to potentially be a bridge for 1 year for Monroe. I don't mind if maybe we get an old hand, someone that's just coming to the end of his career just for 1 year, that's going to put in the performances to allow that year for Monroe to improve. So that might be an option as well. But let's have a look at what we can do to the car at the moment then. So reliability looking pretty good across the board. Of course, we're trying to get these 2 engines up to 100 so that we can do the weight stripping 4 steps down, which means it will take it back to 80% reliability, but gives us a nice boost on those engines. In terms of performance, I'm pretty happy with what we're improving at the moment. We've still got quite a lot of improvements to make to the parts we've got, so we'll keep going with that. I think we'll stay as we are for the next few days. We are going to have a politics vote, which we'll get out of the way before we take a look at the sponsors. So the new vote is going to be around 9 dry tyre choices. I presume that means 9 sets of tyres, not 9 types. On tyre wear rates. I mean, we never use the full amount anyway. So I'm just going to take the point. How many points have we got? Yeah, I'm going to take the point from abstaining. It doesn't make much difference to us. We're never going to use all those tyres in a weekend anyway. When you've only got one very short practice session, it's never going to be a factor. And I would like to see them, I wish they would add more practice sessions or longer practice sessions so that did become a factor and we get more practice time to hone the car and strategies, etc. But it's been approved, so we will have less tyres next year. Still, I don't think we'll get through 9 tyres sets in a weekend. Maybe 3-stage qualifying if that comes back, which I don't think it does at the moment. Then that might play a factor. But we haven't got too many sponsor offers on the board at the moment, so we'll just leave it a couple more days before we sort that out. Now we're up to the full 6. So a couple of scouting reports have come back then. Alejandro Moreno. Low quality driver in the Asia Pacific Supercup. Let's have a look at him. Very high marketability. He's a 3-star driver. Pretty expensive per race though. How much are we? Let's just remind ourselves of Monroe. So he's 2 stars at the moment. He's only costing us 93,000 though for a couple more years. 382 is what we're losing from Dreyfus. We don't really want to spend more than that. That's the issue. So we were talking about getting an old hand in. Moreno does fit that bill, but if we would have to pay an awful lot less than $500,000. His contract is up though, and that marketability is being boosted by Drift Champion, Endurance Champion, and Cycling Race. He is a paid driver though. We'll pay you $500,000 for each race. So that would essentially make him a free driver. Okay, he's suddenly... Is he though? cost per race minus 573. I presume that's not including the paid driver. So he would essentially not cost as much at all. Those three would come off, so it'd be 85% marketability. He's not the best driver in the world, but he's a good option. We'll definitely keep him on the horizon. Moreno. There's no way to like favourite a driver, is there? No. Oh well. The second driver, Cavalcanti, average driver in the Asia Pacific Cup. Just over 3 stars. Really low marketability. And pretty costly, so definitely not an option. So we've got an option then, Moreno. So we'll keep an eye on him. Right, let's take a look at the sponsors then. Let's just see what we've got at the moment. 2nd or above, 10th or above. So we could take that 10th or above as the option per race, and then we could just take this for up front. To be honest, the biggest upfront payment is 9th, and they would give us 450,000 per race, and I think we could achieve 9th. And it's a shorter deal. I think we'll go with Wanche. Let's welcome them aboard, and that will put us back in the green. And then we've got a fixed payment sponsor available as well. You've got 1.6 up million, 1 million up front, or 350,000 per race for 9 races. So that's going to be a lot more money, but it's going to be equal, sort of spread out along the season. The only thing I'm thinking of is our marketability is going to be a lot higher next season, and there's only 4 races to go. So do we really want to be signing up a 1-star sponsor deep into next year? Or do we want one that's going to expire, a couple of races into next season, then we can get a much higher sponsor on board? Tricky. But how... In that 6 race time, how much would we get? Just over 2 million. So I'm going to go for the shorter offer. It seems stupid, but I'm thinking in the long term. If we get to... if that runs out in race 2, season 3... Season 4 now, it will be. Then we'll be able to get a better sponsor on board and not be tied in for so long. So we're going to go with Bovista, get the million in the bank. That is going to mean we can start making some parts again as well. See what that does to our finance. Losing 400,000 per race at the moment. But I don't think that takes into account the sponsors and the paid driver of Monroe. Okay. Let's stick another part in the car then. Where are we lacking at the moment? So brakes, we're looking at 400 front wing, 400. Suspension could do with a nice increase. And it's going to be fairly cheap. We might be able to get 2 on the car. So let's build some new suspension. Do we? What tracks we got coming up? Acceleration useful. Top speed useful. Acceleration crucial. Top speed useful. Yeah, gearbox isn't going to give us the best thing in the world. Phoenix we've got to consider as well. Top speed, we can't change the engine. Medium speed corners, crucial. That's suspension. Low speed corners. Well, we can get rid of Rio because it won't be on the carb for next time. So low, high. High speed corners are 2 crucial areas on 2 tracks. So I think we're going to go for rear wing. Would be the best thing to do. We haven't made any yet, so let's go for high speed corners, get that built, and we should be able to build 2 of those by the end of the season. Just gives us a little increase as well. Right, let's get going towards the next race then. This is going on far too long. Right, we're going to switch that suspension over to that rear. Do you really want to improve a part that we're going to be changing? Probably not. Let's go for suspension on that. 84, let's switch over to that front wing. And performance, still quite a long way from being max, so that'll do me. Let's get moving then. Upcoming vote. Wondering if you're interested in voting in favour of free dry weather tyre compounds in the next vote. I can make it worth your while if you know what I mean. The 250,000 would be pretty useful. Free tyre compounds next year. That would make it interesting and a lot more strategies that we can play with. So I probably would vote for that. So yeah, sure. I'll take your money. I'm only using one vote though. I don't think you're going to be getting 2 votes out of me. Right, new rear wing finished. Oh, what was that? Party-addled lifestyle affecting her driving. So she's increased her marketability a little bit, lost some fitness and focus on party circuit. Hey, you party hard, girl. You've done us proud over the years. You're going to be going at the end of the year anyway. Right, let's go for a second rear wing then. High-speed corners. That's going to be 432, 470, 472, 490. We'll go for that then. We'll have to improve the reliability quite a bit, but we should get it ready for those last 2 races where the rear wing is going to be crucial then. Right, let's switch the reliability off of the suspension onto that new rear wing. I think performance is still in all the right areas. They're a long way from being max at the moment. That's gone back to 2010 for some reason. 1010. Okay. A lot going on in this session. We'll get to the race eventually, I promise. We just need to get the car in a position where we can score some points in maybe 1 or 2 races between now and the finish. And that should be enough, I'm hoping, to secure ourselves 4th place. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen. If there's a crazy race and someone gets a much better result than we would have expected, then we could find ourselves down below 6th place very quickly. But then the adverse can happen, can't it? So you never know what's going to happen in motorsport. Right, we'll move the reliability to that other rear wing. We've nearly maxed out those engines, which is good news. If we can do that by the next race, then we will be up to 100% and we can take 4 notches off the weight saving, which will be great news. Right, those other brakes I'd like to start increasing. I think I'm going to switch that front wing to those brakes. Had that just changed the themedy again? No, it's still at 1010. Good. Report helipad. Yeah, it's good for sponsors. We got 59,000 in the bank, love. I can barely afford to pay you, let alone what you're requesting. Right, I think we're going to be good until the race. Let's get going. Wish you could turn that off. I don't really care about other championships. I guess if you're tracking a driver, it'd be sort of a role-playing thing you could do, see what results they get, see who impresses you. But at the same time, I really don't care. Monroe has increased his marketability even further. He's done some charity work abroad. Good lad. He must be... I didn't think he could go any higher. Back up to 100%. So he's lost his other bonus. He's now back up to 100%. It's going to last 20 weeks, so I don't think it will quite come into a factor for next week. But right, we're ready for the race then. 10th or above or 9th or above. There's not much in it, and I'd be gutted if we finished 10th and didn't select it. So we're going to go for 10th or above. Practice is going to be dry, a wet qualifying, and a sunny race then. Let's take a look at the parts, see if we can stick any of those rear wings on the car. Still a little bit low. It's the last 2 races where they're going to be crucial, so I don't think we'll do anything until those final 2 races. So we'll keep them improving. So we'll keep the same parts as last time. So I shall get practice done, and then I shall join you for what is sure to be a very wet qualifying session for round number 8. Okay, so we're here for qualifying then. It was... well, it's been roles reversed so far. It was a wet practice session, and it looks dry to start qualifying. Whether that rain will come pretty soon, I don't know. But 97 and 96% respectively for Eka and Dreyfus. Good setups. We've done a little bit of weight stripping as well. I've taken 3 steps off both engines. And I've gone down 1 step in brakes as well on Eka's car. So 60 performance gained on Dreyfus's car, 75 on Eka. We've lost quite a bit of reliability, but at the end of the day, 80 should be good enough on all parts to get to the finish. And we need every bit of performance we can get at the moment, that's for sure. But let's get qualifying underway. We'll send both cars straight out, just in case we're going to see some rain at some point. Eka's got a new thing with her mechanic, which enables her to have a wider sweet spot for qualifying. So hopefully, if any of our drivers have got a chance of out-qualifying where we should be, it's going to be Eka in this session. But we're going to find out. I'm going to wind it on a little bit, because I'm a bit conscious of this episode being a bit long, because we spent a lot of time in the pre-race going through the strategies and car stuff. So both drivers have started their laps now then, and it'll be Eka who will be the first to come through the first sector. Nothing obviously to compare it to just yet. Again, sort of 14th, 15th place will be considered a good qualifying result. Eka is a 10th down on, I presume, Woodford, who's done the fastest first sector. Dreyfus 2 tenths down. Zoom in and see a bit of the qualifying lap, shall we? It's not quite as exciting as watching simulation qualifying laps or real qualifying laps, but an on-board option for this would be amazing. I would love better camera options and higher res cars, but you know what? I'm happy they increased the zoom distance in the last patch. That's good enough, I guess. But Eka's come across the line for a 21.2, and Dreyfus 3 tenths down with a 21.5. As we've seen the last few races, Dreyfus has finally fallen behind her teammate. Eka is now living up to her potential, and I think she's in a great position to lead this team next year. And then it makes it a bit of an easier decision if we do bring Monroe in. Here comes that rain though, and that may well be the end of the qualifying session, in which case we've got a great chance to achieve the sponsor objective here. Although some drivers still putting in great times, we're dropping all the time. The final 2 drivers don't. So Eka's a provisional P9, Dreyfus P14, and if this rains till the end of the session, then we've got a great sponsor objective there, and we could be on for the full 400,000, which would mean we wouldn't lose any money this race, which of course is the primary objective. But getting out first has proven fruitful this time round. There might be just enough time to do a single dry lap at the end if it stops quick enough. But let's be honest, we got to go out in the next minute or so. I think just in case I might send them out, just in case they can get a lap in at the end. It's unlikely, but we may see some improvements from the AI, so we may as well get out there on track. But then it was bone dry when we did our laps, so I don't think we would see too much improvement. Plus, the AI are actually all on intermediates, so we won't see any improvement from them. Let's just see if Eka's wider marks proves fruitful. Still overheats the brakes, somehow. But they're going around now. The only 2 on Ultra Softs. I don't think we'll see an improvement, but we'll see as we come through the first sector. So Dreyfus is 3 tenths down on the lead. And Eka, who started a lap slightly later, 3 tenths down as well. So there could still be speed if they can improve on their original times here. Dreyfus 7 tenths down, so she might improve. Eka 5 tenths down. There's a chance here, if they have a strong final sector, that we could move further up on the grid. So it's going to be Dreyfus that comes across the line first. She does 21.3. She does improve to 11th. And Eka coming up to the line. Can she find the same kind of improvement? No. She does 21.4. So Dreyfus finds that extra couple of tenths, which brings her within a tenth of her teammate. And it means we're going to start 9th and 11th then. A good move going out right at the end and right at the beginning of the session. And we'll see what our pace is in the race, of course. But as good starting positions as we could have hoped for. And some money in the bank. So definitely one of our better qualifying sessions of the year. And I like wet qualifying. It always, just like in real motorsport, it's a real leveler. And you get on the track at the right time, in the right conditions. And you can far outperform your car. And that's what we've seen there. So, race day, it's looking like it should be a fully dry race. So, hopefully, well, if there's a bit of rain, it would be nice because we seem to have better pace in the rain. But we should still be able to do something from here. We've got intermediates and race trim. Unfortunately, because it was dry, it was wet in practice for most of it. It means we've only got really intermediate bonuses. So we'll probably go with engine expert. Let's go nurse actually, so that the whole car is better. Because we've dropped quite a few parts down to 80%. So let's go for nurse on that car. So, what tyres shall we start on? So, we're looking at 9 and 13. It could well be a one-stop race here. We might be able to do it on the Ultra Softs. 2 stops. I think we'll start both cars on the Ultra Softs to give ourselves the best chance of possibly doing just a one-stop on 2 sets of Ultras. No need to have that much fuel in the car, so we'll go down to 12 laps on Ecker's car. And Dreyfus, we will go to, let's go 10, let's go 11. 1 lap shorter, so she can come in first, depending on how they do. We'll push from the off then. I did wonder about this. Can you... No, so once you've stripped the weight, you can't increase it back. I did wonder, why don't we just like put it down to like 20% on every part for qualifying and then put it back up? But no, they thought of that. You can't put the weight back on. Obviously, once you've shaved a little bit off a carbon fibre part, you can't really put it back on. I don't know how they shave weight off an engine. Shave the engine block, is that? That's not a good idea, surely. Right. Hopeful we can have a good race today. We need to make the strategy work. If we can do a one-stop, I think that's going to be the best option. If we can make them last long enough, the Ultra Softs, I think we could do a one-stop on the Ultras. And I don't think many of the AI are going to do that. But Dreyfus has made a bit of a mistake into turn 1, has dropped her back to 15th. Ecker has held on to 9th, although she's dropping back a little bit now. And we are starting to get swamped. 12th and 16th, 13th and 16th, 15th and 17th, 16th and 17th. Yeah. Not the best start out here, is it, really? Those tyre temperatures coming up now. We're going to go back to neutral just to look after them so that we can try and do that one stop, we hope. And we'll go up to 2 speed as well. It's really what we expected. You just... Really, in 1 lap, you go that far back. I really don't think that would happen, but hey, we know how weak our car is, and we know from last time out, we think this is going to start showing our weaknesses. But the guys around us are on the super softs. I would have hoped we could have stayed ahead of them on the tail of the top 10, but just no pace. No pace in the car, and no one's pushing. So it's not as if we backed off too early from this. Just a real lack of pace. It's a shame. It is a shame. We're going to have to rely heavily on those results from early in the season, I think. It's going to take a miracle if it doesn't rain here for us to get into the points, but we'll give it a go. So, Dreyfus has now dropped to the back of the field. Ecker just 1 place ahead. 1 car between them in 18th. And it's those super softs. I can't believe we're not keeping pace with the guys on the super soft. Because we shouldn't be a second slower than those guys, to be fair. So we'll see. We'll see if our drivers start coming back through. Dreyfus has just made our way past Stranby. And we'll see if we start coming back through these super soft runners towards the middle of the stint. It is possible that we just got crowded out in the first couple of laps. But our drivers are going to go head-to-head into this right-hander. Dreyfus thinks better of it. Eka trying to find her way up the inside at the moment. And she does move up in 17th place. So we're starting to come back through. Points are a long way off though. Top 6, well top 5 are away. 6th and 7th are really the forced India of the bunch. I think they're teammates, and they're the best of the rest at the moment. So they're still kind of within sight, but we would need some kind of mega strategy to get this to work out today. So Eka onto the back of Rodriguez now and makes that move look very easy, and up to 16th. Dreyfus is going to try and follow through in the next couple of corners, hopefully. Let's go on board with Dreyfus now. Both drivers complain about the fuel. Maybe we will go back to medium for the moment. Engine and gearbox looking okay though. Eka's engine has dropped quite considerably, but she should be okay for a race distance. Dreyfus not really finding the pace at the moment to get past Rodriguez. Definitely not in the same way that Eka was able to. Eka has now caught the back of this field again. So it's how aggressive we go in this race. Tyres are overheating again. I'm going to go back to conserve. So we expect the Super Softs to be able to do 12-13 laps easy. So we need to go at least another 2 or 3 laps. I think it's going to be very difficult to do ultra soft as Eka goes down the inside of Milovic. Yeah, I don't think ultra soft is going to work. We need to get to sort of lap 12, 13 to make it 100%. We still could, you know. We could split the strategies and see how that works out. The problem is at the end of the stint. Considering we've really struggled to get past super soft runners on the ultras, and they're all going to go to ultra soft for the second stint. It's not looking hopeful either way, to be fair. It's going to be Dreyfus that needs to come in first. She's got less fuel and lower tyre wear at the moment. So I think we'll go with super softs for her, and then we'll have to see whether we can get Eka to go far enough to even consider the ultra softs second time round. So driver's starting to ask for tyres now. We can go one more lap with Dreyfus and then she can come in next time around. So Dreyfus will come in this time round for some super softs, and we'll fuel her up till the end. A little bit more just in case we can use some fuel at some point. Car looking okay, everything above 70%, so no problems there. And Eka should hopefully be able to get one more lap out of this. This is really for pride at the moment. Unless we finish level on points with some of these guys around us, I really don't think it's going to be a factor as to whether we beat them in certain races. But at the same time, we've already got that 1-2. So if it does come down to positions, if we're level on points, I'm pretty sure no one around us has won a race. So we should be okay either way, to be fair. So again, it does kind of beg the question that this racing's kind of pointless for us. But we'll keep going. It's going to be super softs, and we're going to have to be conservative. I don't think the ultra softs are going to do 12 laps. If they do, they're going to be so dead. There's really not going to be much point. So we won't overfuel Eka too much. Her engine's looking pretty worn, so we don't want anything to happen with that. Dreyfus in now. Hopefully it'll be a good stop. And she puts 14 laps of fuel in. I don't know why she's put 14 in. I don't remember asking for that much. But it's a good pit stop, and she's back out. And she's come back out ahead of John Stottier, also on the super softs, so she's at least not going to be last. We'll stay on conservative because I think we overheated those tyres as well. I think the one-stop strategy with 2 sets of ultra softs was possible. I think we just went too hard on them early on. I think that's what's destroyed our chances there. Good pit stop for Eka as well. And she's going to exit nicely ahead of her teammate. And I think we are going to go neutral and high for her, just for a lap or two, to see if we can undercut some of those super soft runners. Because once they come back out on ultra softs, we're definitely not going to be able to catch them. If we can get track position, then towards the end of the stint, they'll start running out of life. So if we push hard now and see if we can undercut, most of them are in the pits now. And she's going to exit behind the lot of them. But I think that was actually the ultra soft runners there. The super softs are still out, so a few more laps pushing hard. I think we'll do the same with Dreyfus. I think she's actually got more fuel. Let's push. Let's go, girl. Come on. See if we can get her back into this race. Super softs are all still out there, to be fair. So I think the undercut's going to be pretty powerful here. As that's another car come out ahead of Eka. It's a little bit worrying. We've got 6 cars still to pit on the super softs. Don't know if the front 3 will bother us. The bottom 3 we could get ahead of though. So there's a few positions to be gained here. Tyres are now really overheating though. We'll go back to conserve. We'll keep high fuel mode for Dreyfus. Her engine and gearbox looking good, and she's got a lot of extra fuel. We'll go back to medium for Eka. So Stramby we came out ahead of. Still a few more cars. I think Tyler we might be able to get. Safety car. Yeah. Yeah, let's box. We're at the back. We've got nothing to lose. Let's slap some ultras on, shall we? We'll leave the same fuel level. Let's go for it. Why not? Oh. Same fuel level. No repairs needed. Okay. That's changed it a little bit then. That's Stramby out. Unfortunately, it was someone that it looks like we were going to beat on pace anyway, so I don't think we've gained any positions from it. But we have a chance to maybe come back through the field then. We'll go up to free speed as we do for safety cars and let both our cars come in. One, two, three, four. It was a little bit risky actually, to be fair, because there were 4 cars that pitted, who we might have been ahead of if we'd stayed out. But come on, let's go aggressive. We've got it at this point of the season. The field's going to bunch back up. Got quite a few super soft runners ahead of us that we might be able to get past. An awful lot of ultra soft runners though, but quite a few of them with low tyre life, so we might be able to pick up some positions here. I think we're actually in exactly the same position, 17th and 19th. So we've not. Oh, I forgot to turn the engine down. Oops. That's some extra fuel we could have been saving. Let's see how the engine and gearboxes do. 33% for Eka's engine. She's not going to be able to go in much high fuel mode. Dreyfus should be okay till the end of the race, some high fuel, so at least we can push with one car. Let's see. Let's get racy, girls. Come on. Let's see if we can make up some positions. I think points, as we know, are pretty far off the table. But let's at least have a strong finish and see if we can get towards that top 10. We'll be very lucky if we do, but hey. Right, let's go to high and neutral for the restart on both cars. And see if they can make up some early ground. It's interesting that everybody goes back to back up on the tyres. Everybody's actually gone a full attack for the restart. We shouldn't have gone full attack on Eka though, because of her engine. But let's copy them. Let's do the same. We've got plenty of tyre life. We know we're going to be able to get to the finish. See if we can make up some positions. Eka and Dreyfus almost coming together there. But it's a real squabble. And let's just see if they can make up some positions then. So Ecker's engine down to 27. We'll have to go back to medium engine mode then. And for all our effort, we're not making up much ground. Although Dreyfus making a move now. I'm going to have to go down to... Everybody is still attacking. Let's keep attacking. I'm worried about the tyre temps though. They are really high. Let's go to push. Plenty of fuel on both cars to get to the finish. Let's go back down to push on both cars. And yeah, just one car to get past on the super softs, and then we'll see if we can get after some of those ultra soft runners. It's not working out too badly at the moment. The car ahead does have issues as well, so hopefully Dreyfus can get past her as soon as possible. There we go, up to 13th. A little worried about fuel on both cars. Let's go to high. I'm going to go to conserve with Ecker, just because of those tyre temps. I'm going to go to neutral on Dreyfus. We just don't have the pace. Yep, nothing I can do, Ecker. I would be interested to know what suddenly makes these parts drop so much more rapidly than the other. Because Ecker and Dreyfus should have pretty similar engines. And Ecker's is what? 27? 19, sorry. And Dreyfus's is 58. Why is Ecker's just fallen off a cliff? Is it because Dreyfus is a better sort of base part? I don't know. Final lap now then. Plenty of fuel to use. Let's just go overtake. And push. Just see if we can make up a couple more positions. Dreyfus is up to 13th. Looks like too big a gap ahead to get any higher today. And this is going to be as disappointing as last time out. We've raced hard. I think we got the strategies right. I think we were right to pit under the safety car. Ecker's just dropped another position to 18th. Probably because I've just destroyed that engine. Oh, no, it's okay. So Dreyfus is going to come across the line in 13th. Ecker in 18th. And yeah, we're just going to have to hold on. With the points we've got, I think, if we get a wet race maybe towards the end of the season, we might have a chance of some points, but as it stands, it's not going to happen, is it? Just no pace today. And yeah, just got to keep remembering how lucky we were to get those results early in the season. They've really saved it, to be fair. I mean, Ecker's still in 5th place and she hasn't scored a single point for about 3 or 4 races now. Even Dreyfus is in the top 10. And we stay 4th in the championship. 6th have closed up quite considerably though. Ruiz scoring some points that time out. And that means that gap is now down to 4 points. And to be fair, actually, it's MRT we need to stay ahead of because we'll still be in 6th. So we've still got 11 points on 7th. I've actually been making that mistake. So 6th still looks on. If we can find some points from somewhere, 4th could be a possibility, and that would be an incredible season. But hey, another tough race. It's what we expected. We gave it our all. Let me know. What was that driver's name? I've forgotten now. It's not Monroe. It's very similar. Monroe, I think it is. Monroe and Munro. Monroe. That's going to get confusing. I can't have them both in the same team, can I? That's going to be a nightmare. Some big improvements from Monroe then. Very tiny improvements from Dreyfus, as we know she's already reached her potential. And Ecker still improving nicely. She's got quite a way to go. And I think she's going to be a good number 1 driver for this season. For this series. Didn't quite get that 10th place, unfortunately. So it's going to be another minus race, unfortunately, for the bank balance. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out next season. But that's going to be it. Yeah, let us know whether you think Monroe, the experienced hand, with still good reliability, and is going to cost us next to nothing, because he's a paid driver, whether that's going to be a better option than Monroe. The youngster who probably still needs another season as a reserve. But let me know your thoughts on that. Of course, keep the comments coming. I love reading them. It makes this series a joy. Go and check out the GT series if you haven't already, and the F1 2017 content on the channel if you like that kind of thing. And if you're new to the channel, don't hit that subscribe button as well, it means the world. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.